There was outrage on social media following CAF's announcement of the 2019 Team of the Year. Yeah, many people disagreed with the choices that were made on that list. Welcome to the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and Dennis, my co-host, returns to the show. How's it going, man?
Very well, Solomon. It's nice to be here again.
Yeah, so you saw that list, and the list he had from the goalkeeping position, there was Andre Onana. At the right back, it was Achraf Hakimi. In the centre back, it was Kalidou Koulibaly and also Joel Matip. And also at left back, we had that Serge Aurier. Now, going to the midfield, we had Hakim Ziyech, Idrissa Gana Gueye. We had who's the other person? Riyad Mahrez, and up front it was Salah, Mane, and Aubameyang. Now it's a good list when you look at it from certain perspectives.
Yeah, certainly.
But there has been major disagreements with the things on that list. That's the people on the list.
Yeah.
So what part of it are you disagreeing with? Well, before we get to that, now we see that in that particular list there's one Egyptian, there are two Senegalese, and that's one Algerian. That's Riyad Mahrez. Now, seeing that Algeria finished first, Senegal finished second, and Nigeria finished third, are you alarmed that there's no Nigerian on the list?
I'm certainly alarmed, like you put it, and then I also disagree with. I think I disagree with the three departments that form the major part of that list. You know, from the defense to the midfield and also to the attack. And from the defense, for me, I see nothing Joel Matip is doing on that place because number one, for a player that has will I even say renounced his membership of the Cameroonian national team and then bringing him into an African team of the year, it just makes no sense for me. And then, so you now ask me, so who should be there? I think Jamel Belhamri should fit into that list. You know, he plays for Al Shabaab and also for the Algerian national team, and then he was a core part of the defense of the Algerian team. And then we also see that Algeria also conceded the least of goals during the Africa Cup of Nations, which Belhamri was a core part and an integral part of. And also for the midfield, I think Wilfred Ndidi should have, Wilfred Ndidi has a stake in that midfield. And in the place of Wilfred Ndidi, I think Idris Gueye shouldn't be there. Because if you look at, aside what Ndidi is doing for his club side, that's talking about Leicester City, you also look at the sort of performance he brought into the Africa Cup of Nations. Interceptions and then passes, you know, he was top-notch. And I don't think Gueye matches up to his performance in the last year, in the year under review. And also for the attack, aside popularity, aside would you even call it fame, I think Aubameyang shouldn't be in that place. And for
why do you say that?
Yeah, I say that because number one, for a player whose country did not qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations,
which is a tournament for the African continent,
his team did not qualify. Talking about Gabon, he did not. So consequently, he did not play in the Africa Cup of Nations. And then, for me, my issue with this list certainly is, if you are ranking a team as an African team, it should consist of players, you know, that did very well for their team and also did very well on the African continent.
For the countries.
So for me, up front there, I think Nigeria's Odion Ighalo should be there. Case in point was during the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier, he was the top goal scorer, 7 goals. And then during the tournament itself, he was the highest goal scorer with 5 goals.
Exactly.
So I think all of these are just indices that tells us that this list will continually generate a lot of controversies.
Yeah, because many people have come to say that it's pretty much a popularity contest. Now that you touched on the point of Aubameyang being on that particular list, you know, seeing that it was the highest goal scorer for the highest goal scorer for the Premier League, and seeing that he didn't even feature in Africa's biggest tournament. And we had another player who did well for his club side that's over there in China. Obviously not as popular as the Premier League or as
that's why I mentioned the popularity.
Exactly, but he did so well, like brilliantly, when it came to the African Cup of Nations. So definitely Odion Ighalo has to be on that list. So I think there has to be better laid out selection patterns that we have to consider out of all of these things, because you're looking at, it's been less of a popularity contest and it been for the players that the people that have done so well in the year
performance in the year under review. So, you know, this just continues to raise eyebrows on, you know, the how on the integrity of this whole Africa Team of the Year that CAF continually reels out, because as far as I can remember, for like 3 years now, this list have always, you know, generated controversies, and I don't even think this will be the last we're going to see.
Okay, so if we're to have a nutmeg team of the year, that's CAF team of the year, Andre Onana, is he going to be staying on it, or you have any other
Yeah, I
person?
think he deserves it.
Okay, so Achraf Hakimi, is he going to be staying?
Yeah. Don't also forget that he won the African Young Player of the Year.
Exactly, brilliant young man. Also, you have Kalidou Koulibaly. Is he going to be staying on the list, or you have any other person?
Koulibaly.
So at the centre back, I'm guessing you're going to be putting Jamel Ben Amri.
Certainly, he has to be there. Belamri, you know, his performance speaks volume. You know, what he did during the Africa Cup.
So at left back, Sergio Aurier or someone else?
Sergio Aurier, I'm actually contemplating that, because he did not do so too well during the Nations Cup.
And considering he was injured for large parts of 2019.
Yeah, for large part of 2019, and then even when he did feature for the Ivorian national team, they did not go far during the tournament. They crashed out, you know, in the in the round of 16 stages. So I think someone else has to be staking that place.
Personally, I might want to put in Youssef Attal, that played for Algeria, although he broke his collarbone during the tournament, but his performances with Nice and also at the AFCON before he got that injury, I think it was top notch. So Youssef Attal, left back.
Yeah,
you agree with that? Fantastic. So at the base of the midfield, the three people in the midfield, Ghana versus Ndidi. I'm sure that's
for me it has to be Ndidi, and then it has to be Ndidi, it has to be Riyad Mahrez, and then we also have, who do we have in the midfield?
Hakim Ziyech.
Yeah, Hakim Ziyech.
So if I were to play devil's advocate now, I could say that Ghana Gueye was brilliant in the African Cup of Nations, because you're looking at a side that finished second. Although you could say Crepin Diatta at certain stages of shown him, that's in the midfield, and when Diatta also played out wide. But also you see that at Everton, that's Idrissa Gana Gueye. It wasn't a mincemeat too.
Always had a shaky performance, and then in the real mix of things, you cannot compare Idriss Gueye.
Well, I guess would agree to disagree,
because if you are talking about the Premier League, don't forget that Ndidi had the highest number of interceptions and,
true.
You know, for the season. So if that alone should be a yardstick for this, for his place in the Africa team for 2019, I think he stakes it already.
Well, indeed it is then. So we have that's Hakim Ziyech and also Riyad Mahrez up front. Definitely Mohamed Salah is going to be staying. Sadio Mane is going to be staying. Aubameyang versus Igalo.
For me, so if we are talking, I think it's right for us to put this in context. If we're talking about African players, is different from talking about, indeed you're talking about the African continent. So for their work on the African continent, I think Odion Igalo owns it. But then on the larger part, I think Aubameyang should be there. So
you're sticking with Igalo instead of Aubameyang. Okay, that's really great. So I think we're going to be keeping this as a feature on the show, where we have our team of the year every time. You know, that's part of the shows we did last time. We did 10 players. We did a list of 10 Nigerian players who did well in 2019. Maybe you should check that out on our show. You'll see it in the suggested part of the show now. So thank you so much, Dennis, for talking to us.
Always a pleasure.
So that's all we can take on the show today. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you should absolutely do that already, because there's awesome content from Guardian Nigeria for you. Thank you so much once again. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and this has been The Nutmeg.